Hey everyone, it's Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I've read in July. So July was an interesting read month because I thought I was going to read at least maybe 5 books, but I ended up reading 9 books, which is surprising, and I thank the readathons that happened in July, Becca's Bookopoly-a-thon and Reading Rush, which I'll link both videos in the corner in case you guys haven't seen them yet. And I've read some of the books that were part of my picks from my Ticket to Read, which I'll also link in the corner in case you haven't seen them yet. And I'm surprised that I've read that many books. I don't think I've read that many books since like 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm just was a reading machine in July. But let's get to the books that I've read in July. So the first book that I've read in July is Kingdom of Souls by Rhena Barron, which is about a girl who's born in a witch doctor family, but she doesn't have any magic, so she does a ritual to borrow magic to find missing children, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love the characters, and I also love how I never read a book about witch doctors before, and I really enjoyed that kind of magic system in this book. And I definitely enjoyed Ara because she wants to try to fit in with her family because she's the only one without magic, and she wants to have magic just so she can fit in with her family. And yeah, I really enjoy this book, and I definitely am looking forward to the sequel that's coming out next year. And of course I give this 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I've read in July is Invisible Ghosts by Robin Schneider, which is about a girl whose best friend is a ghost, and he died from an accident, I believe. I'm trying to remember from reading it, but then and she only spends time with him. She doesn't like hang out with her friends and all that. And then this guy came in back in town because he used to live there, and he moved, and then he moved back, and things started to get complicated. And I really enjoyed this. I do love the sibling relationship in this book, and or any book for example, and I like how the theme goes with grief, even though like her parents doesn't know that she could see her brother as a ghost. And yeah, I really enjoy this. I read this really quickly. I've read this in, I would say, a day, but then with I had to sleep, so I only read half of this, and then I read the other half for Becca's Bookopoly-a-thon. But I still really enjoyed this, and I definitely want to read more books by her because this is the first book of hers that I have read before, and yeah, I give this 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I've read in July is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, and this is about it's a story that takes place in a village where they sacrifice a baby to this witch, but she saves the baby since she doesn't kill them or anything. But one of the babies ends up drinking the power from the moon, and she got powers, and that's Luna, and the whole story goes from there. And I really enjoy the story. I love the like a child and grandmother sibling in here. I also love the magic system in this book. I love all the characters, and I just could not stop smiling as I was reading it just because it's such a cute story. And I'm so glad someone told me to read this, and I voluntarily read this for Becca's Bookopoly-a-thon, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And yeah, and I really enjoyed the story, and I definitely want to read more books by her if she writes more middle grade. And yeah, and I give this 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I've read in July is All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban, and this is a story where students were invited to this scholarship dinner, but there is a twist to this scholarship dinner. There is poison, and I forgot other killing weapon there was there, and there's a bomb. Yeah, there's a bomb, and they have 24 hours or 12 hours. I'm trying to remember. In here, was it 24 hours? Yeah, but there is a bomb that will go off any second, and they have to choose who to die or the bomb will go off. So I really like the story. I really like the characters, and like I just love every single one of these characters because they're like different stereotypes in here, and especially the main character who's like, she trying to get everybody settled, even though the dinner is a disastrous because they had to choose who would die. But I do really like mysteries, especially when there's like a situation like this and they try to figure out who came up with this and all that, and all the characters. I just could not help but laugh when a lot of them are like, I don't want to spoil anything because it's a mystery, and I really thought the twist in this book was really interesting twist, and I don't want to spoil anything. So if you want to read this for yourself. And I'm really glad that I picked this as a mystery because I haven't read mysteries in a while, and I've been wanting to read more mysteries, and yeah, and I give this 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I've read in July is Death by Coffee by Alex Erickson, which is about a woman who she moves into this town with her best friend, and they opened a bookstore, and they named it Death by Coffee after her father's famous mystery novels. And then one of her customers end up getting killed by drinking one of their coffees, and they did not give them that coffee. Someone must have sneaking something into their drink, and that's all there is to the story. And I'm surprised that this was a low rated book on Goodreads, and I really enjoyed it. And I know some people didn't like it because the main character was too nosy and all that, but I'm like, how are you supposed to get to know people? It's not her being nosy, she's just trying to get to know the people, even though she shouldn't be involved with a murder. But I still really enjoy this. I definitely want to read more of the books in the series. I don't know how many books there are. I think there's more than 5. I know there's one that is Death by Pumpkin Spice, which is a Halloween themed, which I do want to read. And then there's one with Christmas themed, Death by Eggnog, and I do want to read that as well. And yeah, I really enjoy this, and there's a cute cat on this cover, and he almost looks like my cat, Santi. And yeah, I really enjoy this. I really like the mystery aspects of it. Of course, it's some cozy mystery, obviously, and I give this 5 out of 5 stars. So the next 2 books I'm going to be talking about is Belle's Tale and The Beast's Tale by, I forgot the author's name. What was her name? I know her name is in here somewhere. I know there's an author, and I know this is inspired by, I can't find the author's name. Oh my gosh, they don't show it on the cover either. But anyways, these are mangas that are inspired by the live action Beauty and the Beast, which these have been on my TBR for so long, and I don't know why I didn't pick them up sooner. But I've read this for Rain Rush, and I enjoy them both, as you guys can tell, because I'm a big Beauty and the Beast fan, and I'm just really happy that I finally got to these, especially when I could read them within a few hours. And yeah, I love them both, especially when I see different perspectives of both of these characters that I love from Beauty and the Beast. And yeah, and I give both of them 5 out of 5 stars. Next book that I've read in July is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I finally read this. I feel like I was the only booktuber who hasn't read this yet. And of course, it's a historical fiction that takes place in World War II, where a girl steals books, obviously, but her foster family hides a Jew, which is a big no-no at that time period, and all the things that have been going on at that time in Germany. And I really enjoyed this. I kind of went back and forth on the audiobook and the physical book, and I should have probably read this physically, because the audiobook, it kind of sounded like a news, some kind of news, and I just wasn't into that. But I really like that the narrator is deaf, and he tells a story of this little girl, and I found that really unique. I really enjoyed the story, but I feel like I should have read this in physical form instead of going back and forth on audiobook and physical. But I really liked how there's drawings in here. Let me see, because it literally seems like it's a kid that drew it. So yeah, I really like the drawings. That kind of made me draw into the story more, and I'm gonna find another one that I found. So yeah, and I really enjoyed it, but not as much as everybody else did. But I really appreciated that I've read a historical fiction that I've been wanting to read for a long time, and yeah, and I can watched the movie, and I give this 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I've read in July is Uprooted by Noemi Novik, which is a Beauty and Beast retelling where it tells a story about this world where every 10 years a woman serves as dragon, and I can't pronounce this main character's name, Agnes Scott. I'm sorry that I butchered that character's name, where she's trying to save her best friend from this dragon, and the whole story goes from there. I really enjoy this. I saw in the beginning, I saw the Beauty and Beast retelling aspects of the story, but then it kind of went through to a whole different direction with the plot. That's kind of one thing I have a problem with it, but I really enjoyed it. I really like the world and everything, and I like the characters. It's just plot-wise, it kind of went from one thing to another, which bugged me a bit, but I still enjoyed the story, and I give this 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book that I've read in July is Nightblood by Ellie Blake, which is the last book in the Frostblood trilogy, which I'm so sad that it ended, but I'm glad that I finally finished this. If you haven't read the first book, it tells a story about a girl who's a Fireblood, but she lives in a Frostblood kingdom, and they're not allowed, but then she joins the rebels against the Frost King, and that's all I want to tell you about the first book, because I don't want to spoil what happens in the third book. And oh my gosh, I did not expect so much emotion going into this. Since this is the last book, I honestly thought one scene, I was about to cry because something happened to one of my favorite characters, and I'm not going to say who, because I don't want to spoil what happens to the if I say the character's name. And oh my gosh, the ending, I honestly was full. It was a roller coaster reading this, and I love this so much, and I just cannot believe that I finally read all 3 books, and I probably want to reread them again because I love the characters and I love the world and all that. And of course, I give this 5 out of 5 stars. So that's all for the books that I've read in July. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below what you've read in July, because I like talking about books, but let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!